We are into Season 10, which will be the final season with Esbjerg, but we are currently reigning champions of the Danish Super League, and we are into the Champions League group stages. In this episode, we will be playing some Champions League games. I'm not even sure who we're going to be playing against, but before we do any of that, we are going to take a look at some of the transfers that we've done. It hurt, okay? It really, really hurt. We had a minimum fee release of £5.5 million in the Leffer Gordon contract, and I could not get it out of the contract. And he's gone to Liverpool for £5.5 million. That's our biggest player leaving. I think we've done all right. We haven't sold a huge amount of main players. Leffer Gordon, however, is one of them. Pete is another. But we've replaced Pete, so it's not too bad. He has made his way over to Saudi Arabia to earn the big Saudi Arabian money of £13,000 a week. He's not really gone there for the money, has he? But we picked up a decent amount of money for Pete, £6 million. We got more money for Pete than we did for Leffer Gordon. Joining the club then, we have signed in Mirko Durkovic, signed from Mladost. I think I mentioned him in maybe episode 7 of last season. He has come in. He's probably going to be the Leffer Gordon replacement, although he might not be starting every single game because we brought another centre-back. And that is Gabriel Celia, a 24-year-old centre-back and left-back, signed from Lille for £900,000. And you might be wondering, why do you think we should be starting this man over Durkovic? And it's because my assistant manager or scouts or whoever say that he's potentially going to be superb. Although his current ability and potential has dropped down to 4-star, he's not really getting games at a decent enough level to be able to improve. And I'm hoping we haven't missed the boat with Celia. I'm going to play him quite a lot this season and see how far we can improve him. We have also brought in Charles Sorrow, a 22-year-old Ivorian striker who's picked up an injury very early on in the season, but he wasn't going to be playing a huge amount of first-team football anyway because we do still have Bartol Barisic. We've also brought in Andreas Schoner, a 24-year-old attacking midfielder formerly of Bromby, 101 league appearances for Bromby. He's joined us and he's already scoring goals for fun, and part of that is because we've changed our formation, which we will get to when we play some matches. Another new signing with a Danish passport, in fact, a Danish birth certificate, is Andreas Skov Olsen, 31 years of age now, right winger. He is the Pete replacement. Already, in 7 matches, he's got 4 assists. 10 more to go, and he'll match Pete's best season for assists. We have also brought back Sam Patricola from Dortmund, and then immediately loaned him out to Bochum. We weren't ever going to play him. I just wanted to bring him back because we signed him in the first place. We also did the same thing with Collins Deladla, who went to Inter Milan, never played for them, went on loan to Cremonese, got released, we brought him back, and then immediately loaned him back out to Italy. I don't know why I've done this one. This one's silly. He's also got a 5-year contract. And another one that's very silly is Igor Furtado, as a 20-year-old Cape Verdean central defender who isn't registered for any competitions. So he's never going to play for us, but we've only got him on loan from Dortmund. And I'll tell you what, one of the reasons why I did this is because I think Copenhagen wanted to loan him, and I went, nah, we'll have him, we'll bring him in. I kind of brought him in to be a backup, and I thought he's under 21, so maybe we don't need to register him. I was wrong. Another young player to join is Dennis Hansen, an 18-year-old Estonian signed from Flora, immediately sent back on loan to Flora, so we're never going to see him. And finally, Matai Stenzel has joined the club, and there is one huge factor about Stenzel that we have been missing for the last 9 seasons. We have not had anybody who can take corners. Stenzel can take them. He's got a 16 for corners, a 16 for crossing. He's also pretty quick. 17 acceleration, 15 pace as well. I think Stenzel could be a very good addition to our squad. It does mean we play 3 attacking midfielders now. They're all brand new signings. Just in case you're interested in the values as well, Celia was £900,000. I think that was one of the big ones. Shona was £1 million, which is actually the biggest one. We've also sold. Cece's gone. We've mentioned Pete Markovic has gone out on loan. Bonieve has gone back to England, signing for Derby. A whole bunch of players going out on loan. No one really particularly big there, I don't think. Sam Larson, £2 million to Bromby. That is ridiculous money for him. Leffer Gordon, you will be missed. Ibrahim as well, also leaving the club. Dennis Hansen going back on loan to Flora, as we have mentioned. £15 million brought in, most of it from 2 players. Our change in formation, we now play a 4-2-4, which is, we'll see in a minute. Basically, we don't concede at the moment, and we score a lot of goals. We've started the season off very well. We've beaten Nordsjælland 4-0, Bromby 1-0, 2-0 against OB, 3-0 against Midtjylland, 4-0 against Viborg, 2-1 against AGF, and a 4-1 win against Randers. And goals are coming from all over the place as well. Durkovic, who's a centre-back, has scored 4 goals in 3 starts. I don't know what's happened there. So, the Champions League then. I guess that's what we want to talk about. These are the 8 matches that we'll be playing in the Champions League. We're going to win 2 of them. I've decided we're going to win 2 of them. We've got Ostenda, who are weirdly one of our feeder clubs, or were one of our feeder clubs very early on in this save. We should beat them. We've also got PSV, Barcelona, Dortmund, Salzburg. I think we might be able to beat Salzburg, Bayer Leverkusen, Real Madrid and Monaco. We've not got an easy draw. We've definitely not got an easy draw. Particularly, I guess, because we were the lowest ranked seeds. So we were never going to get to play any of the poor teams. But we've got some really tough, really tough matches. It is the Champions League. I'm not sure what I was expecting. Right then, our first Champions League game of the save. Obviously, I think Esbjerg must have been there before if they're previous champions of Denmark, but this is our first time actually in the Champions League group stages. We are up against Ostenda away from home, a match where we should be good enough to win. It's going to be Otto Hindrich in goal, Mossen, Durkovic, Darlin and Enrique in defence. Orlando and Hjulmand in the deep-lying playmaker positions. I say deep-lying playmaker. The defensive midfield roles. In the attacking midfield, we've got Skov Olsen, Carniero and Stenzel with Barisic leading the lines. This is the new formation. It is a downloaded formation from RDF Tactics. I'm going to put the links in the description as well as the one that we used last season, which is still there. And we've got a couple of the RDF variants. So we've got the one to play away against elite teams, which you'll probably see in this episode, as we're probably going to play Barcelona in the second match. And then this is the one that we're going to play for the majority of the season in Denmark. Probably not the majority of the season in Europe. So this is a match where I do believe that we are the better team. I have just realised we've loaned Markovic to Ostenda and we didn't say that he can't play in Europe or he can't play against us. So we are playing against our own player, which is not ideal. I love the fact that this tiny little stadium is playing Champions League group stage football. It's a bit mad. 5 minutes on the clock, and we've got our first highlight of the Champions League. Hjulmand to Skov Olsen. I'm sure he was offside. It's been cleared anyway. Enrique's keeping this alive. Hjulmand back to Enrique. Orlando Meyer back to Darlin. Highlight ends. Not a lot really happened from that one. Enrique with a throw right in front of the technical area. Gets the ball back. Across to Darlin. 10 minutes now on the clock. We've got lots of space. Durkovic is going to go for a run straight through the middle. He goes on the ground, finds Carniero, not the best pass. This is one thing I do like about this new formation, is we have that attacking midfield central position, a position where we've had players for years who can play there, and we've just never played that position in our formation, so now we're actually doing it. We can see the best, hopefully, out of Carniero in a more central role. We have lost the ball. Markovic loses out low to Hjulmand, best mates, I assume. Mossen with it down the right-hand side. Markovic is with him. Orlando, Hjulmand with a bit of space, ball forward to Barisic, Stenzel to Carniero, and Miguel Carniero in the middle gets his 3rd goal of the season. 10 minutes on the clock. We take the lead in the Champions League. I know it's obviously very, very early, but do we need to consider what we need to do to get out of the Champions League group stages? Do we want to try and not plan, but hope that we drop into the Europa League? Because obviously if we go into the Champions League knockout round, we're going to get absolutely battered. Milos, buddy, you've just scored against your own team. Literally, Ostenda had nothing to do with that goal, did they? Their goalkeeper just did a big kick upfield. Our defence didn't pay enough attention to it. Like Markovic, our player, flicks the head on. Moss and old Hindrich comes out. What have we done there, guys? That was such a bit of a shambles of a highlight, wasn't it? Really, that was really not good. Match momentum-wise, it is all us, and it's 1-1. I mean, it's not fair, is it? Is this the definition of being FM'd? Is that what it is nowadays? Hindrich gets down low, stops that one sneaking into the bottom corner. Don't know whether that was the highlight. I don't think it was. Enrique, our record signing, to Darlin in the middle. Durkovic collects it. He's going to go for a little run. Dinks it over the top towards Skov Olsen, who's not going to get there. And now, once again, down that left-hand side this time, come Ostenda. Sepic to Whittle. His name's Whittle. Durkovic chests the ball down in his own penalty area and big kick towards Barisic, doesn't get there. Orlando to Skov Olsen, back to Mossen. This is a very long highlight, so I think there's a goal coming. Hjulmand to Bartol Barisic, through ball to Stenzel. He's in on goal, and Stenzel blasts it into the back of the net. It is 2-1 to Esbjerg, with just under 5 minutes of normal time to play in the first half. I'm not going to lie, I think we've looked a lot better in this match than I expected us to, particularly away from home. We have been just absolutely dominant. We've had plenty of shots, 10 on target. 10 shots, 4 on target. The goal we conceded was a mistake from a defender. So I'm happy with how things are going. We're going to keep playing the same formation. No changes right now. Durkovic has taken a knock. Probably going to do a sub in a minute. In fact, we're going to do it straight away now. Durkovic is coming off. Celia is going to be coming on. Do we want to do anything else? Orlando, you can come off. Jack Leonard, they recommend to play there. Colorado, that's who we want to be getting some game time, because Jean Carlos is still one of our older players. I think he might even be our oldest player now, and he's like 29, something like that. It is Whittle. He's not our oldest player. Skov Olsen is. He's 31. He's in his 30s. He's practically gone. Enrique chests the ball down and gets past his man. That's what we like to see. Didn't really see a huge amount of Enrique getting forward towards the end of last season because he didn't have the pace in front of him. Now he's got the pace. Stenzel has the pace as well. Skov Olsen is there at the back post. And Andreas Skov Olsen gets his third of the season. 3-1 up away from home against Ostenda. We're going to win a Champions League game. Still plenty of time for us to balls this up though. So Darland's conceded a penalty. Great. Come on, Otto. Come on, Otto Hindrich. Stop this one from going in, because this, I don't know if this affects our goal difference. It's a good penalty. It's almost stopped as well by Hindrich. Nico Sepic does put the ball in. I don't know how the league sorting works. Does it come to goal difference, matches against? Is it just coefficient? Is that the thing? Final 20 minutes. It's a free kick for Ostenda. Barry over the ball. Goes long. We've just let him in on goal here. Luckily, he's terrible at shooting. Defensively, we've been horrendous. Offensively, we have been very, very good. 2 assists for Stenzel and a goal. Puts him on a 9.5. Carniero with a free kick towards Darlan at the back post. And the defender hits the post. Skov Olsen just miscontrols the ball completely there. Right, final 10 minutes. Let's do a whole bunch of changes. We've got 3 more subs to do. I don't know why we're doing it, because we're bringing off our best players, but we're doing it. Barnabas, Shona and Lundsgaard coming on. It is Skov Olsen, Barisic and Carniero all coming off. We're keeping on Stenzel because obviously he's got 2 assists and a goal to his name. Maybe 3 assists and a goal to his name. Celia with a headed effort. It's saved. I don't know whether it needed to be saved, but it is saved. Final 5 minutes. This highlight is carrying on, and we've just let Calvin Stengs get there first. I assume that's Calvin Stengs. I'm not sure if it's going to be anybody else. Celia to Colorado. Hillman ball forward. Shona goes for a run, loses out. Not what we want to be seeing at all. Can we nick this ball back? Ball on the ground. It's going to be 3-3, isn't it? It's 3-3. Is it 3-3? We're going to get VAR. It's disallowed. It is not 3-3. It is still 3-2 to Esbjerg. Let's not throw this away. We need to think of the coefficients, guys, as well. Hindrich's big kick over the halfway line. Nobody in a blue shirt nearby. Barnabas collects, though. Ball over the top. Lundsgaard's in on goal. And Lundsgaard's effort is saved well by the goalkeeper. It should be 4-2. Corner to be taken on the right-hand side. Is it Stenzel? It should be Stenzel taking this corner. Front post. We should have Celia and Darlan, I hope. I don't know whether they're set up for this tactic. It's towards Celia. It's cleared. And that is going to end the highlight, I think. We have managed to hopefully hold on. 4 minutes of injury time has disappeared. We have won our first Champions League game. Stenzel picking up the man of the match with a goal, 2 assists as well to his name. We got lucky. We definitely got very lucky. The second half, I think Ostenda were a bit better than they were the first half. We just didn't take our chances, did we? Well, apparently it was a vintage display from us, which is always good to see. We picked up £2.4 million. This is the big thing for me being in the Champions League, is that amount of money potentially coming in 8 times in just the group stages is going to be massive for us. Before we played the Ostend game, we also played another league game. We won 4-2 against Silkeborg. So far, our season is looking very, very tasty. We are now going to go forward to the Barcelona game on the 22nd of October. We're going to play Copenhagen. We're going to play PSV off camera. I want to see all green circles. That's what I want to see. I'm fully aware we are only 2 games into the Champions League, but we are currently sat 3rd in the table with 2 wins out of 2 because we actually managed to win our match against PSV 5-2. We've won everything in between episodes, apart from a 2-2 draw against Lyngby. I don't know how we didn't win that game. We just didn't, okay? We actually nearly lost this game. That's how bad we were. We're now going to play Barcelona. If we win this one, are we the greatest team in the history of sports? I think we're definitely up there. The starting lineup then for the Barcelona game will be Hindrich in goal, Mossen, Durkovic, Darlin and Enrique in defence. Hjulmand and Jack Leonard in midfield. Yes, we are playing Jack Leonard as a roaming playmaker because he's actually not terrible there. 2.5-star current ability. We do have some other options to play there, like Colorado. We also could play Hjulmand there if we really wanted to, but I think Leonard, I think he's good enough to do the job. We've got Skov Olsen, Shona, Preda and Barisic as our front four options. We are playing the plug-and-play way to elite for this one because we are at home, technically. I say technically, we are at home against Barcelona, but you'd argue they are elite. So let's hope this one works. So we obviously don't get to visit the Nou Camp, but we do get to play probably one of the best teams in the competition. I assume they're one of the best teams. They're one of the best teams in Spain, so they have to be one of the best teams in the competition. They are very, very good still. I've had a look at a few of their players, and yes, they're good at football. Who'd have thought, eh? I think this is as well our first home game in the Champions League. So if we can pull something off magical, that would be amazing in front of our home crowd. It is not Barcelona coming forward. Jack Leonard through ball to Preda. Preda's effort is blocked. He gets a second chance. We have taken the lead against Barcelona within 4 minutes. Oh my word. What is going on here? Enrique to Leonard. Leonard's ball over the top. I say over the top, through the middle. Preda has 2 chances at this one. On the volley for the second effort, it's 1-0. And we are beating Barcelona. We've moved up to second place in the Champions League group stage. Skov Olsen, that's his name, takes the corner towards the front post. It's cleared. Hjulmand to Shona. Preda again this time goes over the bar of the keeper. 8 minutes on the clock. Barcelona have yet to really do anything at all. Enrique's throw to Barisic. Jackie Leonard over the top to Preda. He's got one option in the middle. Can't manage to find him. But they are not clearing their lines. They're taking their time. Jules Koundé ball forward. It's Michael Elise on that right-hand side. Loses out. It's in the middle. We've managed to get that ball back. That's good. Durkovic with it. Across to Darlin. Could you believe Darlin, a player who we loaned about 4 years ago, who's playing in a Champions League game for us? Skov Olsen cuts inside. Plays it back to Hjulmand. Jack Leonard. Ball to Shona. Across to Preda. Is Preda going to get his second? He arguably should have done. Still 1-0. But we are looking spectacular. There is a free kick now for Barcelona in a very good position, though. Gavi's the man to take it. 19 minutes. What a save that is from Otto Hindrich. Concedes the corner, but more importantly, prevents the goal. Gavi's gone over to take the corner as well, towards the back post, and it is found Keiki, and Keiki makes it 1-1. Is that how you say his name? I'm going to call him Keiki anyway. That was arguably Barcelona's first and second real chance of the match, and they've managed to score the goal. Also, it's irrelevant, but that's made me laugh. We'll click on, there he is, there's his name. He's a Welshman called Neil Hoskins, who's playing for Borussia Dortmund. Who's good at football. Neil Hoskins, born in 2006. I don't think there were many people born in 2006 called Neil. Anyway, we are playing Barcelona, whilst I got distracted by a fake Welshman's name. Ferran Torres to De Jong, ball forward. Pedri's controlled it well, walks it past Hindrich, and it's 2-1 to Barcelona. Maybe we were only good in the first 5 minutes. Before this match, I was taking a look to see the rough amount of points that we need to get in order to get out of the Champions League in the top 8, and it's 16 points. 16 to 17 points is normally what will get you out of the top of the into the first knockout round, or second knockout round, I guess. We're probably not going to get that. I didn't see how much points we needed to finish between, 9th and 16th, I guess, is the next one, because that's also going to put us into some form of qualifying match. I mean, we probably have... With the 2 wins we've already got under our belt, maybe we've already got enough points to get ourselves into the Europa League. Michael Elise to Gavi, ball comes in, Darlin scored an own goal. There's no way Gavi can claim that one. Darlin definitely changed the course of trajectory of that ball to put it behind Hindrich. It's 3-1. It started well, didn't it? Let's remember the good times, the first 10 minutes of the match or so. Barcelona once again coming forward with the ball. I don't know what they've done since their first goal, I guess, but they have just turned it up a notch. Elise with it on the ground to João Pedro, loses out to Hjulmand. Now, can we get ourselves back into this game? Jack Leonard loses out to Ferran Torres, who's just going to pass to Keiki. De Jong back to Keiki. Now Balde on that left-hand side. We're just going to let him run, apparently. Why are we just letting him run? He's clearly good at football. Don't just let him run. Cross comes in, and Michael Elise scored his first goal of the season with a header. Otto Hindrich has just dropped down to a 5.8, then back up to a 6.0. We should probably look at doing some subs. Mistake led to the goal. Skov Olsen, really? Denson, buddy, you can play against Barcelona. Why not? Enrique's going to come off for Cannon. We're going to do a huge amount of subs in defence, I think. We're going to do Colorado coming on as a right back. Durkovic for Celia. We've got one more change. Let's do Barisic for Charles Soro. I think this might be... Well, I think this is his first appearance on camera. I don't think he's actually started any games yet for us. I'd like to point out, we are 78 minutes into the match. We've had 37% possession, but we've scored a goal. And I think that's all we can really hope for in this kind of match. To score a goal against Barcelona in the Champions League. That's lovely. Celia sets up João Pedro. It's 5-1. It says Tell deserves all the credit for the assist. I don't think Tell really did the assist, did he? I mean, it was a lovely run, but I'm pretty sure the ball comes off Celia. Like, Celia kicked it into Hindrich. I don't know what we're doing here, but we are not doing well at all, are we? We're into the final couple of minutes. Can we make it 5-2? We did well against PSV to bump up our goal difference, and then we've just ruined it. Is that Denson Barnabas with a header? Denson Barnabas has just scored a header. I don't care if that's offside or not. That's breaking science. The goal's counted as well. Denson Barnabas is a tiny human, I think. Unless he's grown. Maybe he's grown. Like, that was an epic leap, like a salmon. Denson Barnabas is 6 foot. I swear he was always smaller than that. I know, obviously, Lundsgaard is a small man. He's like 5'6", but Denson Barnabas I thought was like 5'8" maximum. Anyway, the full-time whistle goes. Denson Barnabas has scored a goal in the Champions League. We've also got a goal from Preda. We bookended it, didn't we? We played well for 5 minutes at the start and 5 at the end. We scored twice against Barcelona. I guess that's all we can really hope for. We just played badly. I did just say in my team talk that we were the underdogs and unlucky. They didn't like that, apparently. Maybe because Barcelona... Was that their first win? That was actually Barcelona's first win. Look at some of the teams we're ahead of, by the way. Dortmund down there, Bayern, Juve are down there, Newcastle with all their billions, obviously, Barcelona, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, and then little old Esbjerg sat there currently in 12th place. I guess we don't get any money for that, do we? We don't get any money for that. Preda is not... He is not going to Copenhagen. No, I mean, I just send my assistant anyway. I don't know if a deal can be done. Oh, that's you. You're saying that. No, it's not happening. Is he actually wanted by them? Copenhagen do want Preda. Preda's not going anywhere, and if he is, it's going to be for a lot more than the £3.6 million we paid for him. Right, looking at the Champions League then, for previous seasons, I think, let's just double check. It is, everyone up to 24th will get into a knockout playoff round. So, where did 24th cut off last season? 10 points. We're not far off that. We're not far off 10 points. What about the season before? 9 points. We are 9 points, 8 points, 8 points. And then it goes back to the old-fashioned way of doing it. So, I think... I know it's still early days, and we've got some very big teams to play. Dortmund, Salzburg, I hope, is a win. Leverkusen now might be a win as well. If we win one more match and a draw, we've got 10 points. And we are going through to that qualifying knockout round thing. And I think if we lose that... What happens if we lose that? We go there. That's it. Do we not go into the Europa League anymore? Does that not happen? Teams placed 9th to 24th go in a knockout playoff round, which is this one. I don't think we drop down into the Europa League anymore. I don't think if you get knocked out of the Europa League or the Champions League or whatever, you don't fall down into the next competition anymore. Maybe. We'll find out, because we're definitely not going through in the top 8. Well, I guess next time then, we are going to do a few more Champions League games, and I'm thinking we might skip the Dortmund game, which could be a risk, because if we win that one, I'm going to be annoyed. We might just do... I don't know. Maybe there's 3. Maybe we'll do 3 matches, or 3 episodes, sorry, for the old Champions League group stages. We'll do those 2, and then those 3 as a little final, maybe. What am I talking? I'm just talking. Just saying words. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. And I'll see you next time for, I'm going to say Dortmund, Salzburg, and Bayer Leverkusen. We're going to do all 3 in the next one.